Howdy folks, it's Turtle here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are nearing the end of the Grand Alpine Challenge Bush Trip, penultimate leg today, leg 7. Looks like we finally get a paved runway to land on, albeit it's kind of short, but I think we can figure it out. Kind of a long leg, 40 minutes, so it means take me about an hour or so, but edited down for you. You know the drill. I assume you've seen other legs since this is leg 7 in the middle of a trip. So without further ado, let's get going. Alright, first thing we're going to do like usual is come up here, repair and refuel, then come down here and turn on some lights. Whoa, just a little bit. Let's get those landing lights on too. Please, thank you. Zoom this out a little bit until we see where we're going, and let's have a read. Kitzingen. After taking off, set a course to the southeast and 6 nautical miles, you'll fly over the beautiful waters of Kitzingen, which I assume is that stomach-looking thing right there. So let's set our course for that. 110 degrees. Let's go the right way. The correct way. There's 90, 110. There we go. Since that's so close, let's read about the next thing so we know what we're doing. Then after that, we're going to go 114, which is even more to the south. So I think we're going to head into the mountains for this one, folks. A little bit, I think. So we're headed for that, and then we're going to go even more to the south. And in 20 miles, you'll find the Austrian fortress, Kitzingen, the primary landmark in the Tyrolean town of Kitzingen. So, we're going to want to be low enough that we can see this thing, but high enough that we can cover any terrain. So first of all, we got to figure out where that thing is so we can plan ahead a little bit before we get in the air here. And it's right about here. It looks like, right where the bodies of water are. So we do have to get some altitude. So I don't know. I mean, we could go like this and go around maybe. But then we're gonna go. Okay, then we're gonna go more to the east and fly towards these mountains. Let's see here. Actually, I think it's these mountains here or something. Somewhere in here, there's mountains. And then we're going to go way south, and then we're going to go to the Alpine Landscape National Park, and then we're going to go a little bit, we're going to fly through here, and then we're going to fly to the summit, which is 12,000 feet. Okay, so we do need to get some altitude, so I'm just planning ahead because we've been missing some of these landmark things because we're so high, right? Because we got to clear the terrain, and we don't see what we're looking for. So, I don't know what to say. We're just going to get some altitude and climb as high as we need to. That's all I'm going to say. So we're going to go towards this stomach thing. Then we're going to go towards this fortress. Hopefully we can see the fortress. And then we're going to go towards the mountains. And then more mountains and more mountains. So this one might be a little bit trickier to fly than it seems at first. We're not going to use autopilot. We're going to hand fly the whole thing. So we'll see how this goes. Let's look outside and see what kind of runway we have. Lots of runway. Oh, plenty of runway. All right, here we go. One set of flaps. Parking brake off. Fire wallet. Looks like parking brake is on. Okay, and parking brake starts off. That's weird. Let's try to stay straight because our last departure was kind of tricky. As is this. And get ready to pop up and... up we go. Brakes to stop the wheels. Get some speed here. And flaps coming in. And turn to the right. And go for the stomach. We're not going to use the timer since we know where we're headed. So we're going to go to the stomach. And then we're going to set 414 degrees. Which is further. Oh yeah, look at that. We got to get some altitude. We got to clear these mountains. Or these hills, I guess. They're really just hills. So we will set the barometer. There we go. We'll stay pitched up and trimmed just faster than flap speed for our climb. Bring back props a little bit out of the red. Ignore the autopilot. Look out the window to check out our departure scenery. Can you tell we've done this before? Well, watch that speed. Look outside. Flip around. The autopilot or co-pilot is not done talking to us. Look at all the scenery. Where's the stomach lake? I don't see it yet. Must be over the hills. Is the stomach lake? Yep, stomach lake is over the hills. That is okay. We're actually going way more than 114 degrees, aren't we? Whatever. Let's go back. There we go. We'll get the northern part of the stomach. It must be right over that crest that we can't see. Looking back one final time here, as there's the stomach lake. As we get some altitude to climb. And what do we at? What time is it? 6:55? Oh, 7 o'clock. Alright, let's see. Stomach lake. Then we're going to want to do 114 degrees, which we'll do in a second here. And then heading towards that little area. And like I said, we probably won't be able to see the fortress because we're not going to go really low through these valleys and get all around and stuff. We could, but then we could get pretty lost. Then we're heading to that area after that. Alrighty, I'm going to try to give you some sightseeing. You all know the drill. When I hand fly like this, the sightseeing is shorter because it's really easy to get off track. And you don't miss anything. Even though I make cuts for time, you still see everything. So, sightseeing for a little bit. Wish me luck. And I'll see you when we get towards that that fortress. We're going to turn 100, just so if you're following along, we're going to turn 114 degrees in just a minute here. I'll see you in a little bit. So I'm planning ahead of how we're going to be able to see this fortress, because looking ahead, there's the mountains off the nose. The second one's up. But the fortress is before that, along a river. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to fly over the area, then look out the windows. Okay, so there's the river there. That river is going to come down here, right? And then the fortress will be under us. So I'm trying to stop ascending because we're going to go around that mountain up there. We're not going to go into it or anything, although it does want us to fly over it. But then we got to climb more because I think we got to get up to 12,000 feet later. We got to come down to land, but we'll worry about that when we get there. So anyway, we're preparing to see this fortress while we look around and enjoy the sights along the way. Lots of cool little towns. I love the European autogen. Stop climbing for now, please. Go climb more later, thank you. Otherwise, that's what we're aiming for. Is the fortress is on that little bump out right there, and then the mountains we're going to after are right there. And then I think we turn south, yeah, to the national park. Yep. Okie dokie. Yeah, I don't know. There's the river again. So we're gonna try to find this fortress. We will find this fortress. We need to. Let's just enjoy the scenery while we're here, and then the fortress is just about beyond us. Oh, I like the windmill. Wind turbine. Alright, anyway, we're going back up in the air again. Whew, I thought we were done with these high flights, but nope. They do call it the Grand Alpine Challenge, after all. But maybe some of the other bush trips we can just stay low to the ground and use autopilot and relax a little bit more. But I don't know why I'm talking about that when we have this to fly. Alright, so let's see here. I did bring my mixture back, and I got a lot more power out of it. As I mentioned briefly, because I'm not giving mixture lessons, but you do need to know mixture to fly this Alpine bush trip. Mixture's your red one. The way I did it, because of the simulator, is I brought it back until this went up, and then when it dropped a number, I pushed it back to get the highest number I could. That's how I did it. And then it also makes your props go up, prop RPM go up, so you gotta bring that back a little bit. So it's a combination of the two. That's how I do it in this plane in the sim. Do you do that way in real life? No. There's a little more to it than that in real life, but I'm not here to give you a realistic Mixture tutorial. Alright, so where is this? No, we got a ways to go yet. There's a river up there under the nose, so we have a ways to go. I'll meet you there at this fortress. It's up there somewhere. Let's see. I looked it up on the map, Google Map Machine, and it's right at that bump, which is literally right under our nose. So we're gonna have to do it this way, I guess. And we're really high. We're still climbing. So we have to get around the mountain in front of us. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how we're gonna see from up here, but we're gonna try. We are going to try our best. Alright, you see a fortress at that bump out? I don't. Is the airplane steady enough I can take the drone out? Let's try it anyway. Alrighty, take out the drone. The airplane. I can't control the airplane because I use my flight controls for the drone. I don't really see something that resembles a fortress. Why is my drone crooked? That was really weird. I don't see a fortress, but the airplane is turning, so there's a fortress in there somewhere. Maybe it's this. I'm looking for something that stands out like a sore thumb. We've talked about that before, how the handmade objects look cartoonish and they're easier to spot sometimes because of that. But I don't see a fortress down there. I don't see anything that sticks out. If I notice it while I'm editing, I will put a highlight around it if I haven't already. I've done that for some other ones and other legs. Maybe it's that even. I don't even know. Does it say anything? No, I already closed it up. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Alright, so now we're headed toward the mountains, which are basically directly in front of us. Even though they look close, they're actually pretty far away. So let's get ready for the next thing. So after the mountains, which is 101 degrees, which for us it's a little south of that because we're a little north of where we need to be. Had we come from here, then it'd be 101. So we're aiming for the mountains. And then we're going to look for the nautical park. I would say the 26 nautical mile park. The Hohetaren National Park. Okay, so once you get to this mountain, we'll turn pretty far south, and then we'll look for this national park, which I assume is this area with the pink line. Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out after we get to these mountains, because that's what we're going to do, is go there after we get to these mountains. Alright, we reached the mountain. I showed it to you. I don't know why I was pointing at that earlier, because it's this. I don't know what I was thinking, but We went over the mountains, so now we're gonna head 176 degrees to the national park, which is this whole area here, including the mountains. So 176, we're most kind of all the way there because I let it drift while I was sightseeing. And 176, there we go. And 12 minutes of that, and then we'll head to Grossenglocker, which we'll talk about in a moment. So let's head to the south and go over this national park, which are these mountains. I will use a timer for this one so we know how far into it they want us to go. So we're going to go in about 12 minutes and then we'll make our turn. So here we go, looking at the national park. I'll see you again in a moment. Alright, they must want us to climb pretty high and go pretty deeply into this national park because Grossenglocker is right here, this peak with the water around it. And it says go 101 degrees, which is going back this way. So they must want us to get in here pretty deeply. And then we would go back up around it. And then even more north for LOWZ, which we've been there before too, right? That's not it. That's an S. Hang off. Whatever. We'll worry about the airport later. But I got to be careful what I'm doing here too. I'm trying to do too much at once. We're going to go deeply into here and go around this mountain peak, essentially, and then find our airport from there. So I just wanted to jump in. Actually, I had to jump in because I haven't seen anything yet. I just want to see where we were going. This terrain is crazy. Anywho, one of those mountains up there, probably that one, is where we're headed. So I'm going to climb like crazy. I think we have to get up to 12,000 feet and then give you some sightseeing. We're about to enter the national park. You'll see some of that, and then we'll see the mountain, and then we'll find your airport, because I actually don't know where it is. I saw LOWS, but I don't know where LOWZ is. We have landed at LOWZ before in other bush trips. Alrighty, I will be back in a little bit once I get things back under control and climb like crazy. Alright, as we cross into the national park and get to our mountain, which is right there, this thing in front of us is pretty obvious, and then the water around it. The rest of the trip is going to go something like this. So our airport is actually right here. If you zoom in, there it is. So we're going to fly through here. We're going to go around our mountain. And we're going to come down this valley and land. That's my plan. Think it's going to work that way? I don't know. So even though our airport, you can actually see it. You can actually see it if you know where to look. It's there. We're not going straight there. We're going to take the long roundabout way. I think this is going to take a while because we still have to climb. And the higher we get, the slower we get. And yeah, I can't bring back mixture any more than I am. I was tempted just to go and land right there and be done. But that's not what this is about. So we are going to fly around the mountain and come down that valley and probably corkscrew to land or something. So anyway, I still have about 30-40 minutes. I know it's supposed to be a 40-minute leg, but I still have like 30 minutes left myself, maybe 35 minutes. I'm going to give you some sightseeing and edit it down, and I'll catch you when we get to that valley. We start to come down. See you in a long time. I might have to stop and eat something in real life in between here. I'll see you in a little bit. Anyway, we're about to make our turn around the mountain. There it is, right there. We're going to get very close to it because we can. And the train turbulence is crazy. We can still climb a little bit, I think. Yeah, we were up like 15 or 16,000 in that other leg, so let's just keep climbing to get around the mountain. But I did want to hop outside and show you this view of like the ridges and the valleys, the multiple ridges and valleys. Isn't that so cool? Right behind the airplane. There we go. And then looking around the mountain with the water, and then another valley, and we're just going to go around this one, and then we'll start coming down to land at LOWZ. Look at that, the peak right there, nice and pointy. I think we might as well just go right over it, because we can. I guess not right, yeah, pretty much over it. Then we can reach our valley. So here we go. Dangerous, right? Whoever thought I'd be such a risk taker. I'm gonna go through here, meet up at that valley, come down steeply. Let's hop outside. Actually, no, we want to be inside for this, for a ridge line. Trim down though, we don't need to keep climbing. And there we go, right over the ridge line. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm glad we took the time to come down here instead of taking a shortcut. Look at that, let's do a little wing dip. Without rudders though, so we're actually going to turn, but that's okay. Look at that. And then the other side. Well, that's so cool, look at all the water. It's not rendered in very sharply yet though. It seems to have a very narrow radius ever since the Xbox update to make it compatible with the console, but whatever. If we were closer and lower, it would render in more. Okie dokie, here we go. Time to start coming down into that valley here, and then landing at LOWZ. Shouldn't be too hard a spot. And that'll complete our penultimate leg. We still have one more though before we finish the bush trip in its entirety. One thing at a time, and that thing right now is to start descending into the valley below. And when we're about to do that, I want to give you the view outside. There we go. And there's our valley. Let's actually use the drone a second if I can. Why is my drone upside down? That's amazing. What the heck was that? Anyway, there's a valley. I've lost control of the aircraft because it's my yoke for the drone. Here we go, throttles back so we don't overspeed unless we're coming down. I don't think we're going all the way down to sea level, but we do have several thousand feet to descend while we don't overspeed, so keep an eye on that. Ooh, that's a steep descent. But we need to. As long as we don't stress the aircraft, we should be okay. And here we go. I'll see you at the bottom. I just want to include you in the cockpit so you get a sense of the train turbulence as we go. Oh my gosh, I love when we're below the train level like that. Hey, there's a building in there. Huh. Who gets that luxury? I wonder what that's like in the winter. And that side, very cool. Very amazing. But we're coming down quickly. I would assume that's slightly uncomfortable, but not totally unreasonable. But, oof, it's bouncy, isn't it? Alright, mixture is full now because we're below 5,000 feet in a moment. And we're just minding our business here, our own business. Checking things out as we go, enjoying the scenery. And looking around corners. I love looking around corners like this. That's so cool. I tried doing some sightseeing shots from behind us, but it looks really awkward for some reason. Probably because that valley is sloped downward as well. So this looks kind of funny, but anywho. Alrighty, we're gonna stop descending in a moment because we want to be able to see our airport when we come around the corner. And for that, we're actually going to pitch up so that we slow down as well. Normally we would goose the throttle a little bit. Goose a little bit, that's contradictory. We would goose the throttle to level off, but then our speed would stay the same. But we don't want our speed to stay the same. So we're going to pitch up to slow down. And then throttle if we need to, so we don't slow down too much. So that's kind of backwards, but that's how we're doing it. Alrighty, here we go. More throttle now, because we don't want to slow down anymore. But we don't want to descend either, so it's a combination. Alright, we should come around the corner and see this airport. Shouldn't be too challenging to find. And it shouldn't be too challenging to land either. So, here we go. Think we can do it in first pass, or do you think we need to go around? Because I think the airport's right there. Like right there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, it's way over there. Okay, good. Alrighty, what I really want to do is look around more, and we can't. Why am I looking up? So we're going to pitch up to slow down, throttle so we don't ascend. First set of flaps, props forward. And we're going to look for this airport. Should just be right there, right? Yeah, there we go. It was just hard to see the runway from that angle. Do not run into that mountain. I'll try to look outside a little bit super fast. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so yummy. That's where we came down. There's your airport. Let's hop inside and fly the plane. Get my trim adjusted. Look at that terrain mesh stuff over there along the water. That looks funky. That looks kind of funky. Alright. Here we go. Slow down even more. And come on in for our landing. Doo-doo-doo. Already have a set of flaps out. And we'll do second set in a moment here. And their second set. That will slow us down a little more, so be careful. Do not use your flaps as brakes, but be mindful that it will slow you down. Throttles are back already because I was going kind of fast. But we will lose a lot of speed here in a moment. As I level off to clear the tree. Whoa. A little bit more throttle now. There we go. Clear the trees. This runway is probably longer than it looks, but it feels short. Let's at least get off the grass before we come down. There we go. Throttle's back. Let ground effects slower descent. And whoop, nope, don't float. And boom, there's a bounce. Bummer. Just one bounce. And yoke all the way back so we don't hit the prop. Slow down, don't prop strike, stop. And stop. Does that no matter how careful you are. You gotta be careful of that. There we go, 50 minutes. Only took 10 as long as it's supposed to. Alrighty. Finally coming up. You know the drill. Like, subscribe so you can see it when it gets published, and I'll see you then.